But to answer your question, I mean, there's obviously ways you could like go around certain land features, use roads whenever you can to try to hide your travel, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it would just simply be a kind of stealth roll.
Okay. Because I get bonuses for that, so that's the reason I was asking. I wanted to increase my chances, even with the bonus, as much as possible by actually deliberately picking the best terrain.
Understood.
Increase the odds. Use a little character knowledge. So if you pick the right kind of terrain, even if they try to follow us and actually do try to track us, if they move fast enough to try and keep up with us, they're liable to lose the trail anyway. Because you have to move at a certain speed in order to track over certain terrains. For example, over rocky terrain, you pretty much got to move at a crawl in order to keep track of your opponent. Which means, yeah, because they don't...
I missed the trail otherwise.
You lose the trail. Because you don't leave much of a trail over rocky terrain. And on the other hand, he can move as fast as he wants. That makes it really difficult.
Alright, so while you're all scrounging all up together, getting all these carts, does anybody try to socialize or find out more about each other?
Right now, we're probably pretty busy.
Okay. Let's have you give me a notice roll. Notice and wild die.
Just to not waste time, tell me what the die are.
So the wild die is a d6, and the notice die is whatever your notice skill is.
I even got the notice skill.
I don't have a notice skill.
Then you're rolling your smarts.
Die 10.
Probably better than your notice skill, but then.
Base take a negative on each die. No, actually that is a 4. You have to have 2 to each die for it. It's still a partial success, so what we'll do is we'll say you get a sense. You get a sense that something has severely agitated Etta. She is going about her tasks. She looks nervous. There's moments where you see her just kind of like staring into space and then shaking her head, getting back to work. You occasionally hear her muttering to herself in Deutsch, and you're not sure what it is she said because it's a language that exists post-war, so you're not sure what it is she's saying, but she doesn't sound from her tone that she is being very gentle with herself. It's kind of like when it strikes you, it sounds like someone berating themselves.
What's wrong, Etta?
It's not important.
If it's going to affect the group, it's important. What's wrong?
I'm fine, she says, and clearly she's not.
I was married. I'll leave it alone. That was code for my wife to leave it alone.
It's me flipping the priest a chip because that was too good of a comment. All right. So you get everything round up together. You get your cart set up to the tankette.
However, I do let them know. She's especially.
Role play it.
No.
I noticed Etta was agitated.
Oh.
She doesn't want to talk to me now.
Oh.
No, she's not going to talk to you. She's probably not going to talk to me. I'm another guy.
Well, that's fine.
So,
Great.
have a chick moment.
She was like very self-deprecating, like she was blaming herself for something, and I asked her what was wrong, and she told me basically to fuck off.
So, have a chick moment.
Okay. Shoot. Oh, would I be able to notice anything?
Want me to play some temporary adult rock or something like that?
Would Veronica be able to tell anything if she's looking?
Maybe a little R&B, I don't know.
Do you have a notice skill?
I do have notice.
Roll your notice and your wild die. And roll that extra d6. 16. Wow.
I notice everything.
You actually have a couple of raises, so I'm trying to figure out how to give this information. You give me a second. Excuse me. As you watch her going about her task, you see not only her hands shaking, and not only is she muttering to herself, she is trying to hold back from crying. You catch a couple times, you see her lip quiver, you see her like put her hand up to her eyes, and we'll see her starting to cry, starting to shake. She looks really frightened.
Okay. Yeah, that's not good. I guess she'll sidle up to her. Of course, she's not going to dive right in because that would be stupid since she's already kind of riled up. So, Veronica's going to start with the very first thing that she knows how to start with because...
Look out! She tackles you.
Okay.
You hit the ground. A laser from somewhere goes bzzz, and right where your head would have been, it puts a long line. You would have been decapitated as some ancient defense thing came to life for a second.
You saved my life! Thank you!
She's not conscious.
What? Oh, shoot.
You can feel she's got sweat all over her skin again. She's on top of you. She's like only barely semi-conscious. And all she's muttering in Deutsch. Well, you don't speak Deutsch.
No.
I'm going to be generous to say your Pip-Boy, actually, its record feature clicks on and she tackles you. So whatever it is she's saying, it gets recorded. But you hear her muttering in Deutsch softly to herself something. And it sounds important. And she sounds really, really scared.
Hey, you okay?
She comes back to her senses.
What happened?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks to you, but what happened there? I mean, that didn't look good for you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Etta.
She pulls away and says, I don't want to talk about it!
Jump into the room. What was that?
Sometimes talking can help.
Nothing happened.
Get my chance to play Batman and it's already over.
You know, not too long ago,
She starts looking in the wall and looking to see how it got triggered.
You know, not too long ago, I watched this little girl get ripped apart by these lion creatures and whatnot, and oh boy, did I have nightmares after that. Still do. Still can't see a dead child without freaking out about it. It's not exactly pretty or anything like that. But it's...
Okay, where'd that laser come from?
Busy trying to have
Hold on a second. This is what happened last session.
Uh-huh.
Don't interject into a scene like that unless you're there because we already said that everyone was off doing their separate things. Let her have her scene.
So, I have found that bringing it up, I mean, the only person I have to talk to is Percy, and he's kind of limited in his programming on how he can, like, discuss things and whatnot, and he's been with me through thick or thin, so he's kind of family in a way, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but it still helps.
Listen, you heathen gander. She's going straight to the racist thing. I don't want to talk about it. And then you see her wince. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a heathen.
Well, I kind of am when you think about it. I like trekking out in the waste and rubbing elbows with, you know, some pretty unsavory characters, so I won't blame you for that one.
Do you think that the things we're told when we're children, we tell them just to scare kids, right? To make them behave. None of it's real, right? There's no such thing as witches.
I haven't seen anything like that in my experiences in the Waste. I mean, who knows with all this crazy stuff going on. Maybe somebody has some kind of technology that makes them do, like, crazy stuff like that, but... So, possibility might be there, but I haven't seen any evidence of it.
But it's not witchcraft, right? I mean...
That's gotta be...
Witches aren't real, right?
It's gotta be some kind of... I would put more, it's just probably more than likely some form of technology that we just, you know, our ancestors had and we just forgot about.
Yeah, it's gotta be something like that. And she goes back to looking at the wall.
I'm gonna tiptoe back out of the room now.
You weren't in the room.
Yes, I was actually. I did say that. I jumped into the room and said, what the hell was that?
They were in a different part of the complex.
Oh.
Everybody, this is while everybody's doing their various tasks. Nobody had come back together yet. All right? At this point, you would be working on the tankettes, filling them up and getting the carts attached. Mm-hmm. He would still be raiding the chapel.
No, he had a conversation.
I'm sorry, that was the chapel before that. He would have gone doing whatever it was and then came to talk to her. So the priest is off doing something else, but this is in a different part of the complex, and that was stated. She was off scrounging at the time. At this point now, We're going to advance the story about 2 hours. Everybody's now back in the lift compartment with the tank cats. Everything's ready to go. Who's jumping into an ostrich, or is anybody taking any other preparations to leave?
I'm going with him.
Now keep in mind, Edda has her Lynx sitting outside ready to load up. So she's got duffel bags ready. That's what she's going to drive. And I would assume because of its nature, we also have some of the carts hooked up to the Lynx.
Yeah.
Because it being a transport, it could haul it easier than one of the ostriches.
Mm-hmm.
Are you jumping on the robots?
How many tank cats were there that we had?
We only have one working tank cat, but we have 4 working ostrich suits. And the ostrich suits are the
Okay.
double-legged robots that look like that.
Now, do I have to have a drive skill for one of those?
I went back and forth on this a lot, and I'm going to say that you have to have a drive skill to do something tricky in it, but you can operate it without the drive skill.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
guess I'll be
first
in
you'd
the
be able to
ostrich
keep
then.
up with them?
So who's in the tank cat thing? Because we have to have a drive kit for the tank cat.
Yeah. Who has a drive skill?
None of us, I don't think. I don't.
You don't have a drive skill and you're from the 20th century?
Somebody was in one last week. I think it was your character. You backed up
Yeah.
over the.
Yeah, my character did no
You-
shit.
Okay, I must let you do it straight
How do I have a drive skill?
Because you're from the...
because you're pre-war,
You're pre-war, dude.
so you could drive one of the tank cats.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Okay, so we got our tank cat driver.
After I was put on ice.
No.
So we got you in the tank cat. She's jumping in a robot,
I'm jumping into one of the ostriches.
and then she's in one of the lynxes. Okay, so everybody's got a vehicle, and Percy can fly, so it's not really an issue.
Hi.
What are we doing with Patricia?
I don't want the killer attack robot with questionable programming behind me.
She'll just stick with. I mean, if anybody's gonna have
Have her
any
walk
hope
beside you?
or a prayer of taming Patricia down if she
Okay.
goes off haywire, it's gonna be me because I got the Pip-Boy and Patricia's programming is Percy basically, and Percy's programmed to listen to Veronica. So.
No
I don't want the
problema.
stable killer robot in my vehicle with me. Nothing against robots, just this particular one. I think
No
Percy's
problema.
I think Percy's a great Polish mine detector, actually.
A great what?
Polish mine detector.
It sets off the booby traps for you.
Oh. Okay.
It's the disposable character you sit ahead of everybody else.
Oh well.
Usually the beginning player.
Yeah, I mean he's good at doing that though. Veronica doesn't want him to die or anything.
Or in our
so,
case, the
yeah.
NPC. That's the reason I kept calling the pilot the Polish mine detector. Because once the plane was crashed, it had no use for him really.
Hey, that Youper proved to be quite useful.
Exactly. It was a first-class Polish mine detector until they let the roaches eat them.
Why do the Poles get a bad rap about being stupid?
I have no clue because there's some of those great
Yeah,
I've
that's
ever
right.
met. But nonetheless, the term has been used in role-playing since almost the beginning that I can remember. I mean, back in 1980, I can remember people using it.
Polish minesweeper.
Polish mine detector.
Mine detector, no.
The idea being this is what you do as a Polish mine detector. You cover your eyes and just throw that in front of you and go. Or you cover your ears and go. But yeah, it was a common joke back when I was first started role playing, and it's just stuck, and it's apparently been around forever.
Ruth, that pie put anything I ever had at Perkins to shame. And Perkins got some good pie.
Yeah, they do have some really good pie.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't do
that's-
custard pie. That's a shame.
They don't have custard?
They don't have custard.
Yeah.
They don't have key lime pie either, which really disappoints.
Yeah.
So there's this place that we went to yesterday as I prepared the map. I'll talk about it. What they call it, Sweet Doctors.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't like key lime because people tend to over the lime on it. You know what I mean?
It's usually the way I do like it.
They tend to put way too much on there and it makes it too sour. So we bite into these cake pops that they have made.
Mhm.
And it was like just the right amount.
Too many people for me make key lime pie too sweet.
It was that perfect balance of the sour from the lime and then the sweet. So it was like not too much of each. It was a perfect balance, and it was so good, so good. Makes me wonder how good their lemon ones are.
Hey, puppy.
I am not happy.
Well, we need to make sure you don't try to jump up on the couch. Do you want a yak chew? We see you ate your busy bone. I'm gonna get you a yak chew.
What the hell happened to the tape?
He died.
No, give me a second. Sorry for the dead air. Let me put it on pause for a second. Turn that back on. So this is the area of play you're traveling through the moment. You encounter with some burned out trucks, and it looks like it was a convoy that pre-war must have been going from point A to point B. And then just like fell apart. This is a small rised hill. It may have been a burn, maybe an embankment or something. It's got an elevation of plus 10 feet. And it's got one side that's very steep, which I'm going to put here. Going up that side is going to be really hard. You have the remains of an old road. It looks like they managed to get off the road before they started having problems and pulled aside. On the road you also have some old cars. Beside the road you have areas of light woods, which I'm going to mark LW. Basically, if you think about going down an interstate today, how you have all those woods along the side of the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to set it up that way because you can't actually see beyond that area yet. 1 inch on this map is 10 feet. I'm going to represent the party in blue. Now, when I have more time, I'll actually have little numbers on all the thumbtacks. And I'll actually have either a corkboard or a set piece of cardboard to use. And the yellows are the 2 robots. Okay.
Got it.
And on that side, in that terrain, you've got the occasional collection of rocks. You've got areas where you've got like thistleweed growing. Over here you might have some hub flowers. It's the standard kind of wasteland type thing you're used to seeing from the games.
Oh,
Okay.
question. How do we destroy the base?
Oh, yeah.
I imagine you set the reactor to overload.
Okay, that answers that. Okay, done.
So,
They did have a reactor. That tends to be the default answer.
To me.
That tends to be the default answer to everything.
Overload the reactor.
Make the reactor go boom! So what I need from y'all is now, this is the area, and this is after about... I'll say this after about 3 to 4 hours of travel. So you're like getting into night. It's probably going to be nightfall in another hour or 2. It might be a good place to stop, make a camp.
Possibly the other side of the hill.
Hide everything behind the hill from that direction of travel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad plan.
Including campfires.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So who wants to go out and be the Polish mine detector first? Patricia. Anyways.
I was about to say, hey.
While you are debating, Edda will tap the scope on her rifle as she starts examining this area here. She's going to gradually pan over.
Okay. So I was thinking, alrighty, since I don't remember what power my scope on my rifle was.
It doesn't really come into play in the Savage Worlds rules. Basically, if you have a scope, just the main thing they're concerned about is what it adds to the bonus to aim a shot.
Yeah. It just suddenly occurred to me I've been using it all this time, and I never
by the
really
way,
bothered
if you need
asking
a
how
rolling
much
tray,
it actually shows.
That's there to roll dice.
Yeah. I never actually bothered to ask how much it actually shows, distance-wise, and you got a bit of...
So with a 19,
You got a bit
Edda's
of-
sitting there watching, she gets to the first
pretty
truck,
weird.
and she reads out loud,
The problems are.
It's actually
I
a crusty...
wish I was an Oscar Minor Wiener. Well, someone's just feeling inadequate. Because she has no idea what an Oscar Minor Wiener is.
Those billboards are still up.
It's on the side of the truck.
Oh.
So anyways, I don't see anything. Do you see anything?
Well, Ed is checking this area visually by the truck. What the rest of you?
I'm doing the same
Patricia,
thing.
Percy, could you do like be
Little
subtle,
reconnaissance.
but take a sweep and see if you detect any life forms in the area?
Oui, madame. I am scanning for the life forms.
I don't even
Doesn't she
know.
sound so beautiful? Doesn't. Never mind.
Never mind.
They do a sensors check, and their sensor check comes back negative. They just find nothing in the area that seems to be radiating heat or giving off any other signs of life.
That means nothing
Okay.
because we're talking bugs here.
Well, the bugs will give off heat.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, shoes. Alrighty, no more beer for me. Alright, so I got a 10 on my notice, so I noticed anything.
What were you checking?
I was checking on this side here. Since she said she was checking this side, I was checking that
All right,
side.
so I need you to actually give me an area, just like this side is big, like
I was basically sweeping from
this area.
mm-hmm.
You see a shadow move behind this car.
Percy, Patricia, check the car to the far left. Second car from the hill on the left.
Certainly, sir. So he can get there with almost a full action. He zips over here.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
And
She gets about that far to the woods.
I am aiming in with my rifle.
Okay. What are you checking out?
They're covering here.
Well, Matt has ordered Percy to check out the car, and the female robot's walking after him. That's just as far as she could walk in a turn.
This is all woods.
That's open space. LW is with the tree lines.
Look over here.
You've got a patch of hub flowers there and some light rocks.
You check our rear. Keep an eye on our rear.
All right.
Okay.
A nose there?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give me a nose check. Your notice die and your wild die.
Why don't I have these words?
I am just asking for the skill. If you don't have the skill, that's fine. Then it defaults to your smarts and your wild die.
10. Ooh.
Roll the 10 again. Over in those rocks, you don't spot any movement. However, you do notice there is a stick with some bit of cloth on it.
Uh-oh.
Sniper.
Or a marker.
Yeah, but it's a wind direction sock. It's a wind sock. It's a sniper tool.
Let him know immediately.
Okay, roll play.
What's your name again?
Bert.
Right. And then, what do you make of that?
Over here, you have a stick with a bit of cloth on it.
Edna, we have a sniper.
Not unless it's a hot dog. Where were you looking?
Well,
She's still looking at the other truck.
Okay, get away from the wiener.
I know it's hard, but get away from it.
And didn't know that you were that kind of girl. I've seen a shadow in the far left car there, second from the hill, and now our priest over here has seen a windsock off to our right in the rocks.
Okay, so she pans over at the end of her turn towards the rocks, but she should make a notice roll until the next turn. She acted the last turn. Now she's warned. And what were you doing?
I guess keeping an eye on the rear, because I mean, she
Give
doesn't have.
give us a notice roll for behind us.
She doesn't have a rifle or anything.
Give me a notice roll for behind us.
B6. Yeah, I get a +2 on that. I forgot about that last time. 6, 7, 8.
So you're looking behind us, and you see a glint in the middle of the air. You're like, what the? And you peer on it, and the glint glints occasionally, like it flashes. And it's moving fast on the sky. And the first thought that comes to your mind is drone.
Guys, I think there's a drone.
We're being set up for an ambush.
Oh, hell.
Crap, we just got these robots.
Let's not
Nick
get
for the
panicky.
woods? I mean, it's cover.
Don't get cocky either.
You want to do that?
Or wienery.
Yeah, I mean, Frog's heading towards the woods.
Okay, so You're one of the ostriches, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a movement in 10 feet of 8.
Yeah, let's don't get wienery or
I'll
cocky.
see that this is her. You're running over here into the woods.
Yep.
All right, so the robot going into the woods, it is a big vehicle. It's,
Mhm.
I mean, you're sitting in it, and it's about twice as wide as you are,
Mhm.
and it's a little bit taller, so I need a piloting roll to get into the woods without, like, falling down or knocking you over, giving away your position.
I don't have piloting, so what am I rolling on?
So this is where you need the drive skill, and you don't have it, so you're defaulting to your agility and your smart die at -2 per die.
My agility and smarts?
I'm sorry, your agility and your spirit and your wild eyes on them.
Okay, I was about to say what?
Sorry about that.
Like, if I can roll 2 skills at once, that'd be great, but I don't think that's how it works.
Why not?
Ooh, it exploded.
I can chew gum at the same time.
It exploded again.
You make it. You make it.
Why? I want to see if I get more
So you see her
explodes.
run this ostrich, and you see why the robots got their name, because when they're running, the way the legs work, it really does look like a big bird. All right. She runs this robot. She gets right up to the wood line. She skids to a stop and jumps around a stump and some trees, and like puts her robots back up to a tree. I mean, if it could do the whole Mission Impossible thing right now, the robot's like perfectly hidden. And if you hadn't seen her move there, you'd be like, "There's nothing there." That's right, Mom. Show them how we do it.
Well, thank you for letting us all know your plan.
Bert, be careful.
Round 2. What do y'all do?
Did you even bother announcing there was a drone behind us?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Said,
she said there's a drone behind
there's a drone, and then
And
she
she took
bolts
off. She took off.
it.
Don't get panicky, Bert.
Don't get wienery, priest.
Trained him too well.
And leave the kids out of this.
Ooh. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you would deny it.
So what are we doing? I need second round declarations here.
Jesus.
Leave him out of it too.
Second round declarations here. Come on, let's move the game.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to assume that the robots can deal with anything behind the car. So I'm going to deal with the drone.
Okay. So you're gonna peer. Now she didn't point it out. She said there's a drum behind us. So I need you to make a notice roll to spot it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not like I really had a clear view anyway, because I don't have a scope. It's like that direction.
10 plus 1, 11.
So you look through the skyline and you see it, and you realize that as far as ways that thing must be, it must be like 2 miles that way. And you're just seeing the light reflect off its body from the sunlight.
That's probably from the.
However-
from the bandits.
However, it is getting closer. You've got maybe a round or 2 before it shows up.
All right, we got a drone behind us. It's about maybe, I don't know, about a minute or 2 away from us. And we got possibly a sniper in the car over there. So, what do you think we ought to do? Head for the trees?
That's what Veronica did.
Alright, I move toward her.
Veronica's hunkered down in the trees, and she's got her gun ready.
Now you're driving the tankette, right?
Yep.
Okay, your tankette's nowhere near as fast as that. It's only got a movement of 3.
Okay.
So you start rolling the tankette this way.
Yep.
Okay, and then Bert, you're going where?
I'm going straight ahead. I'm going to go to these trees over here.
She's over here?
Yeah,
I'll put you in there.
Set up a crossfire situation.
Edda puts her stag in overdrive. Her stag's got a movement of 4 inches on this map right now. And she puts her into the trees too.
And let's try and
Take a
hide.
drive roll for Ed. She's nowhere near as efficient as you were with your ostrich. So it's kind of like...
I am.
She knocks down a couple of trees.
And again,
Yeah, she got a big, wide, flat, 4-legged vehicle. It's a little bit more noisy.
so let's see. 8 plus 6.
Percy against scouting
14,
this.
Plus 5.
Yeah, the
is
robot
19.
goes with him.
So my stealthy roll into hiding into the trees, it rolled a 19. I topped off at 19. How did I do?
Yeah, you get there, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, you hear. In the distance, it's getting closer.
Uh-oh.
It's the drone.
We have to assume it's hostile, but it may not be.
You might want to tell Percy and Patricia to hide.
Percy, Patricia,
Just finishing up checking out the car, Mom.
get cover as soon as you can. We got a drone coming in.
Certainly, Mom. Zzz. I swear, you'd think that they would have not eat these things. Only thing to survive the nuclear apocalypse. You know what he's looking at? He's talking about. You heard it over the radio.
Probably one of
Twinkie.
the pre-war. Yeah. Yeah.
Twinkie.
They will spend the rest of the round getting into the woods.
The only thing that would survive an apocalypse for 300 years and still be edible.
Twinkie.
I ate a 5-year-old Twinkie once. It was perfectly fine.
Then what do you do?
We're gonna wait and see what the drone does.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait and look.
Well, you're trying to head for the tree, right?
Oh, am I in there
You're
yet?
not. You're not there
Yeah,
yet.
take that slower.
So you'd have to drive.
You might want to head towards the nearest clump of trees.
All right, so I need everyone to pull a card for initiative. I'm gonna shuffle the deck real quick.
You have to excuse me. I'm operating on about 5.5 hours of sleep.
No
in
problem.
2
Pull a
days.
card for me.
Yeah, that worked out a lot.
Pull a card for me.
The lower the better, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and of course,
Hmm.
my tendency to pull high or roll high has bit me in the ass yet again.
What'd you get?
Oh boy.
Oh. Okay. Going on a deuce. All right. So first person up in the rolling order is actually Etta. Etta, from her stag, powers the stag down, so it doesn't like have anything going off to like give it any electronic emissions or anything. Tries to dissipate the heat. Takes out her scoped rifle and looks for it in case she has to shoot the drone, and she will spend the rest of the turn on Overwatch. Percy and the other robot go next. Mom, do you want us to shut down so we're not giving off any heat readings or anything? Or would you like for us to be active instead?
Well, they know we're here.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily. Would it be possible for you guys to shut down but reactivate upon a voice command? Like if I send you a voice
You'll
command?
have to send us a radio beacon, but yes.
So that would work. So yeah, do that and then I'll radio you guys as soon as you out.
Okay, shut down and go on essentially wait. Next initiatives are
Me?
your 5.
I guess I'm shutting down the ostrich and going on Overwatch 2 with my little pistol.
Okay. You have a queen. Here's a queen. Well, the jack goes first. This robot comes by. Little robot drone, and it looks something like this. You got a big square body. Underneath it, there's a gun with an ammo drum. To the sides, you have a pair of rotor fans. And then behind it, there's a tail with one ventral up and then 2 sides. It almost looks like an arrow vein. On the front of the robot, there's something that's obviously its eye and a pair of antennae. The side profile looks like that.
I'm never going to tell you what it looks like. Here you go, Matt.
Neither am I.
You recognize these things. These are a common post-war drone called a buzzbot or a buzzer.
Who typically has them? Everybody?
They're very easy to make. It's essentially just a pair of fans and a radio control system with a video camera. The gun on the bottom is probably a 9mm,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about like being a heavy laser or anything. It's mainly put there just to harass infantry. You know, it's down the waist. That's most of what you just need.
It's a
So it
serious
comes
dick.
buzzing by, and we're gonna make for now.
That woke me up.
We're gonna make this green, the robot, and it goes right by, and then behind the hill.
It was quick.
All right, and that's a flying vehicle. It can move. It can haul ass. And as it goes by, it's hard to see because now it's like flying not too high up in the air. It's flying maybe 180 feet above the ground. You can actually see the eye turning and rotating, and now it's focusing on the tankette.
Uh-oh.
And you can tell that's the way it's looking because the eye has a laser rangefinder, basically a big laser sight, and the laser is illuminating the tank.
You're on your own, buddy. I'm not exposed to my position.
I jumped toward Bert.
Yep. So you have the queens now. Give me both your queen cards. You decide who wants to go first, since you're the players all allow that.
You have a good shot on it, Bert?
Nope. I'm letting you go first.
Well, actually, Bert, you have a fairly good shot. It's in
You're out
the
in
air.
open.
It's out in the air. It's out in the open. It didn't see
And
you.
you're out in the open.
I don't have a gun.
Yeah, you do. You're in a tankette. You have a big honking gun.
Oh, that's right. I'm on my tank. See, I lost my gun.
Not to mention, we found some spare. Did you not give him one of the other guns that we found?
No, you were all sitting. You're all thing about I wasn't interacting with anybody. I was all busy and everything.
Okay, so we found 4 different weapons in the thing that were workable. We found an M16,
Yeah.
a 1911, a Glock 9mm, and an M4. So yes, you could have a rifle or a pistol if you needed.
Not to mention that God knows the cop and the our sheriff and our Ooper also had weapons I could have collected.
Yeah.
Strangely, those weren't there when you went looking for them.
Damn it! I hate GMP.
She just didn't want us to get the good weapons.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to shoot the fucker.
What are you going to use?
I can't.
You use the cannon?
Yep.
Kind of overkill for a little thing, but okay.
All right. You load a HE round into the recoilless rifle. You wait. Now, it being an old World War II style tankette with some modern things, it actually has like assisting things. So you have to eyeball the gunshot. It's got like tie-ins. You have to have like a targeting reticle like you would on a fighter jet, and it shows you your lead and how far you got to do all that. So I just need. You don't have heavy weapons, so it'll be smarts, and your wild die.
Yeah, one of the things that's interesting is these things are actually easier to shoot than a regular gun. That's so fun about these things.
Boom! Boom! Fireball.
Well, that was a little overkill.
Yeah, but fun.
Bert's like this.
There's no kill like overkill.
Dude, that'd be a great movie poster of the
Yeah,
slogan.
there's no kill
For
like
a cheap
overkill.
sci-fi movie.
Oh.
Well,
I had to do it. Sorry.
I understand. I'm not laughing about that. It's just that
We still don't know if it was friendly or not.
exactly. You don't know if it's friendly or not, and now they might know exactly where you are because it's like, hey, look where we lost the signal.
He told me.
I didn't say anything. I'm not running with radio control with you. I'm just saying.
Anyway,
I was just thinking out loud.
you shoot down the drone. There's a fireball in the air. Debris goes everywhere behind the trees over here.
Is any of it salvageable?
It's over there, very far away from you. How would you know?
I don't know. She may
You
have seen
don't
those
have
kind of things.
you don't have techno telepathy.
Plus, he just got shot with a 75mm high explosive shell.
There's not much left. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the first thing that would come to Veronica's
But it ain't
What do you
shooting
get-
at us.
What do you guys do now?
I keep moving toward Bert.
Bitch in. I'm on Overwatch.
So the tankette is small. You can actually drive it between some of the trees, but it's going to require a drive roll.
Okay.
Yeah, 75mm high explosive was probably overkill, but I approve of that message.
You got stuck on a stump.
Awesome.
I try to extricate myself from it.
Treads are stuck. You have to get the ostriches to pull it out.
Bert.
Yeah, well.
You hear Edicurse Gottenhimmel.
Alrighty.
The robots be able to help? Maybe.
I kick him loose.
You haven't turned it back on yet.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the robots be able to help.
Everything can
like-
help, but the robots aren't back on yet. They shut down until they're waiting a radio signal from you.
We'll shoot radio signal them to see if they come back on, since we don't have
They
the
turn
drone
back on.
to worry about.
You hear, ha ha, ha 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 ha. You got the tank stuck on what? Ha 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 ha.
Hey, help them out if you can. Stop cackling about it.
Can I ostrich kick him off the stump?
No, but you can hook them up to the two ostriches and pull them off the stump.
Okay, I can do that. It's less fun, but I can do that.
Okay, so the group is now all roughly assembled in this area, and getting the tankette free as it got caught in the trees probably take about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
During that 5 to 10 minutes, Etta stays on watch. and she's looking around. And she's like, "Hey, hey,
What?
dust plume coming this way. 1." She goes over through her scope.
Jeez.
Jesus, man.
It's about 2 or 3 miles away at this point. It doesn't look like it's a very big plume. So it's probably only 1 or 2 people, maybe 1 person on a horse.
The hell is this, Grand Central?
Apparently, I'd say let's kind of book it out of here.
It's like downtown Doolof around here or something. I don't know.
Got to point out, if they're friendly, we let them go into the Raiders.
Ugh. Morality sucks.
Ah!
Alrighty.
She's heroic. She has to point that out.
I'm not saying I would do it. I just got to bitch about it because, hey, I'm Bert.
Let's wait and see what they look like and what they're about.
Alright.
Where do you want to do that?
Well, where we are is actually pretty decent. Unless you want to get up on that 10-foot hill where we have, high ground.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move over to the hill. You can use the sharp side as cover and concealment, and then we'll spread out from there. The tank cat's probably best on the flank. This has got the long range gun, and Mr. Sharpshooter over here has already shown he can use it. So reload, dude.
Reloading. Did I free aim that, or was that like trackers?
Pretty much World War. He said it was something along the lines of World War II technology.
Wow, so my guys.
Yeah, it's World War II tank cat.
Yeah, so actually, I guess.
Okay, so you have a large pond over there. The pond is roughly 60 feet by 40 feet. You see the remains of a burned out building. Looks like it was some kind of farmhouse and an outstanding garage. This is all very rotted wood because of the time that's gone by. So it wouldn't make great cover, but it's some cover and some concealment. By that area, you see a patch out here. Oh, it looks like your Victory Garden. And it's got like wild growing flowers and a bunch of stuff in it. There's another stand of trees. No other rocks, and this whole elevation area is just flat. You see one burned out car over here. Looks like it was the couple's car that stopped working before it was destroyed. And anything else?
I mean, now's a well for Timmy to fall into.
There's a general rise in the ground right here, like a rill. It's not very wide, so I'm just going to mark it as a length. Like maybe they were starting to build something, maybe to protect a house from the wind or something from the pond, but never got completed. So if you want to consider like a low earthen berm, about 3 feet high or so.
Okay.
What's a rill? Like a little stream?
No, a rill is a feature in the ground that comes up to like a small raised area.
Hmm.
At least as I've heard the term used.
So basically, it's got everything
You're
but a
thinking
well.
like a creek.
It's got everything but a
A creek's
well.
like a few inches wide stream that babbles.
What?
It's got everything but a well. I was hoping for a pump or something with some water draw off. Refill our canteens. Oh no.
Wouldn't you have done that back in the vault?
Yeah, but you never turned down an opportunity to get to refill ever.
So where's the party going? Up on top of the hill?
We'll have to spread out some. We got the opportunity now to do that.
Okay, so that hill's not very wide. The hill's only about 15 feet wide
Yeah.
by about 30 feet long.
Can you?
It's basically like a small berm they must have been doing when they were constructing the road. It might
you
just be the remainder of like dirt stuff they pushed aside for the road.
Can you call this rifle press?
Yes.
That'd probably be the best location for you. Yes, it's steep, but a tank cat can actually make it up that steep side. You can get up there, depress the gun. You got cover.
Okay, I'm going to draw a little black square to be the tank cat.
Yeah.
So we all know that it's there.
We need something like the trees to actually hide behind, unfortunately, because of how tall these things
We've
are.
got those light woods.
Too.
Yeah.
So,
So we're gonna
yeah,
have to hide in
Veronica would
those.
go for
You only have the
these
hand can
woods.
actually hide out in the open as long as you got something you can get behind. That tank cat's fairly low. 10 feet's more than enough. Plus, you're also the big gun, so you need wide range. You need a wide, wide firing range.
Surprised Miss Scrapper hasn't said she wants to check out the trucks yet.
Well, she's more than happy to check out the trucks, but how about when we're not worried about being attacked?
Okay.
Because, I
Yeah.
mean, there's no point in looting if you're dead.
Okay.
She's got a point.
Where are you going to put the robots?
Let's see. Now the trucks are burnt out, so they don't have any like nuclear things that go boom. Right?
Correct. They're all burned out.
Okay, so we could probably hide the robots by the trucks or in the woods, maybe, or would the farmhouse work better?
I don't know. Patricia's armed, right?
Yeah, she's
Patricia has an AP. Patricia has an AP laser and 2 assault blades.
Okay. So she's good for covering the tank then.
Yeah, they could probably both
Because
cover
if
the
this is a
same.
combat robot coming at us, that tank has to be. You're not going to be able to move out of the way fast enough if it comes after you. She can buy you time.
Yeah, Saltron's pretty maneuverable, so.
The rest of us are going to hit the trees
They're
then.
very quick.
The rest of us will hit the trees. I think Patricia will be, Edna will be on one end. I'll be on one far side. She'll be on the other far side. Let her pick one. Because we got the long range rifles.
Yep.
Well, he give you a 16. What's your small arm skill?
I have small ones. I have a 10 mil, actually. I think 10 mil?
You have 10 mil in your pistol.
Yeah, I have
I
a
guess.
small gun, so D6.
You need a rifle as well. Okay.
Hold
So I
on.
gave him the 16. I'll give you the M4.
I might have a rifle, actually.
So she's checking for that.
I'll take the Glock and
You want to be where on the map? In the woods, I'm hearing.
yeah, over here and have Edna on that side.
So Matthew there. Edda.
Edda on that side. I'm always going to call her Edna for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I have a hunting rifle.
And where are we putting Ruth? Putting poor Veronica Rose.
That's like here somewhere?
Veronica Rose. Okay. So the group has spread itself out over there.
Yep, plenty of fire. You got a wide open spot there.
It has been several hours. Y'all are getting hungry and thirsty and tired. What do you do for camp?
That's the great thing about being inside of an air-conditioned vehicle.
We gotta make an actual camp.
No, we can camp out in the vehicles.
So you're just gonna sleep in the ostrich?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a safer place to sleep.
How big is it?
No fire, no nothing like that?
Don't have to.
Okay.
We're in a controlled environment.
Well, you're still gonna need to eat.
I know, but that's what MREs are for.
So you're gonna eat the MREs instead?
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
got food and water.
So Edda gives out MREs to everybody. You sit there munching on your stuff and listen to that. And
Wait for Mr. Dick to come up.
I already killed it.
No, the guy on the horse or whatever is coming towards us.
Oh,
Edda's right. We have to figure out if he's friendly or not, and if he's friendly, got to warn him off.
or
If he's not
interact
friendly,
with
shoot
him
his
with some
ass.
information.
Or if he's
Get
not
some
friendly,
intel.
shoot his ass after getting information from him.
Bert.
okay. So this is what we call a stakeout.
Mm-hmm.
These are fun
Basically.
and boring
Yeah.
and tedious.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody give me a spirit with wild die roll.
Can't Veronica just play with
Difficulty
her
starting
pistol?
off is 4.
I'm a hunter. This is what I do for a living.
I still need spirit plus roll plus 4.
I'm just letting you
Ooh.
know. I mean, what do I get a bonus for that? For that reason? I
Mm,
mean, Edda and I basically do it for a living.
I will have you have to have less successes.
13.
That's a pass.
Fair enough.
You?
I got a 9.
That's a pass. That's a pass. All right, so everybody passes the first one. About an hour goes by. You see the hot sun begin to turn into the definite later stages of dusk. You're in that now twilight era of the night. Out in the distance, you see lights now, probably about 2 to 3 miles that way, coming forward. And the lights appear to be either, you don't know if all of them are on drones, but a couple of them do seem to be above ground level. And a lot of them seem they might be like on vehicles. I mean, the first thing you think is that maybe someone's got actually 3 or 4 working robots coming this way.
Hmm.
Because you're seeing lots of lights. It could be people carrying lights, like lanterns and stuff, but at the rate they're closing, that would seem unlikely.
So they're probably in a vehicle then with headlights. Or at least jury rigged lights.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to keep quiet, or you want to send a flare?
Well, they're still like 2 or 3 miles away.
That's still well within signaling distance.
These are the people that we're waiting for?
Yeah.
We think these might be the raiders coming this way, is what I'm hearing.
What's
No.
the other ones? The other ones we were originally waiting for.
Those guys coming this way,
Yeah.
they are gradually getting close. You only see the one light and the one plume.
Jesus. So the one in front of us is a lot closer.
Okay, so let's use directions because rather than front and back. So that way is west,
Okay.
this way is east. Coming from the east, Edda saw one dust plume, which indicates there's a small group,
Right?
1 to a couple of people, coming this way. And now from that direction, you see a light leading that group. It could be a lantern, it could be a flashlight, it could be something on a flying drone. We're not sure because it's still a couple of miles that way.
All right.
And between cover and everything in the fall of twilight, it's impossible to tell. Going that way to the west, you see what could be the Raiders. It's the direction the drone came from. You see several lights coming from that
see, I'm
distance.
just confused. I
So,
thought that-
that's why I wanted to use directions. You see several lights coming from that direction. Some of them are above ground level, which would imply drones. As fast as they're approaching, it is reasonable to assume either they have several working robots or they've got a vehicle. A vehicle would be rare. Like, a truck or something that moves, that would be rare in Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
So your minds think it must be like working robots.
Well, if we got good cover and concealment, but the robots might be able to detect us.
Bingo. Robots have sensors.
Yeah, even if they have sensors, though, we don't really have a better position. I mean, we're out in the open in flat terrain. This is probably the best position we're going to get.
To ambush them.
They ambush them and fight them off if we're going to fight. It's either that or just pack up and start
Madame?
moving now.
Madame,
What?
perhaps I could go run quickly out, take a reconnoiter, and come back and inform us of what awaits us coming from that direction. Direction. Don't do French very well, sorry.
The east or
The west.
West.
from the west?
You know how fast the Saltrons are, right? They're about twice as fast as a human being.
Yeah.
She could run out there and run back. That's what she's suggesting.
Yeah, I
That would
agree.
work. Yeah. Go take a peek.
Trying
Be
to get
careful.
detected.
Don't get yourself blown up. And of course, the GM probably may put that out just so he could screw us over. But yeah, we'll do that.
Why would I want to screw the party over? Why would I want to make your lives more horrible?
Don't answer that.
Why would I do that?
It's fun.
For the money, for the glory, and for the fun.
So she
Mostly
takes off at a run.
Mostly for fun.
Percy's like, "Be careful, Patricia! Don't do anything foolish.
You know, you're never going to see
There-
it.
There's a time and a place for a launch. It's not right now."
And why?
Percy, shut up!
Sorry, Mom. Just something special about that robot.
Yes, she's female and she's French.
Yes, I will try to make sure you keep your girlfriend.
Which